Topic number 8, Curry is the three-point king. And I mean, honestly, it's nothing new, to be honest. He's been the three-point king for the last few years, but now it's official. Steph Curry has broken the three-point record and holds it all time.
That's right. Past Ray Allen. Steph now has 2,977 threes or something like that. That'll increase.
Going up anyway.
Yeah, it's going up no matter what. I think the craziest, there's two things. One, I think we have to remember how much Steph Curry has changed the game of basketball. I mean, the amount of threes that players on all levels take now. I mean, Brandon, you're a basketball coach. Like, I'm sure your players are taking a lot more threes than we did when we were in high school. I'm seeing high school players take threes on fast breaks. You know, we were taught to all just go to the basket. Now it's like everybody flare out, you know, because we want open threes on fast breaks. And, you know, it's commonplace now for players to take 7, 8, 10, 12 threes a game. I mean, Larry Bird, who's considered a prolific three-point shooter, would take 2 or 3 a game in the 80s. And he was a three-point shooter. Yeah, now it's you know, players hope they make at least 3 threes in a game. It's just unbelievable how much he's changed the game. The pace and space era, I think, was sort of, you know, coaches adjusted to players like him. And now, on top of that, he's kind of like this smaller player. I mean, he's not tiny, but he's, you know, I think kids like the way that he plays because he's not this big, hulking, athletic freak like a LeBron or a Shaq or even Michael Jordan, who was 6'6" and he would just glide through the air. What Steph Curry does, other players at other levels can try to emulate, you know, so I think that's why he's really changed the game. Second thing is he's 33 years old, and he just passed Ray Allen. Right when Ray Allen retired with that record, he was 38. So let's just say Steph Curry plays another 5 years, okay? How many more threes is he going to add to this record if he plays another 5 years? He's going to add at least another 1,500 probably, you know, 1,200 to 1,500 more threes. He's going to get this up to almost 4,500 threes. That's just crazy to me. And it's just unbelievable that this guy has just the swooping changes he's made to basketball is just it's hard to kind of comprehend at times.
Before I go into my thing, best shooter of all time?
Yes, yeah, no question.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got to agree and say the best shooter of all time. I think even before he got this, you could say that he was the best shooter of all time statistically because he hits it at such a high rate compared to Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and his teammate is up there. We talked about that. In the top 5, Klay Thompson is up there. So imagine having both these guys on the court. That's when they're really the Splash Brothers. You've got 2 of the greatest shooters of all time, statistically by percentage, on the same team right now. I can't wait for Klay to come back and see them both lighting it up. But Steph Curry, like you said, has changed the game of basketball. And like you said, changed it for more of a finesse style, right? And before, when basketball changed, it was the dunk, really, right? It was the dunk. People were dominating underneath. Shaq was dominating. You had dominant big men. And I guess if you went further back, when the three-point line was introduced, that was a big change. But even then, they still weren't being like, oh, now I've got a three-point line. Let's jack it up from there. No, that has only come in this current generation with and led by Steph Curry, jacking up, like you said, 12 to 15 three-pointers a game. But, you know, he's going to hit 6, 7, maybe 8 of them. So it's amazing what this guy can do. I watched his pregame warm-up last night, and he missed 1 shot out of maybe 30 or 40 shots in his pregame warm-up. And I'm telling you, this is from all different spots, on the run, catch and shoot, coming off screens, runners, floaters. He was doing it all. Like, I was impressed, man. And it's something that a young basketball player should watch and see if this is what he's doing in his pregame. I need to start doing these things and start emulating my game after him. He wasn't just shooting 3-pointers in pregame. Like, so, and like you said, it does change the game. I have to remind my kids, shoot a 2, man. Shoot a mid-range. Like, because the mid-range, in my opinion, is hit at a higher clip, especially in high school basketball. You know, in the pros, granted, the guys are going to hit the 3 at a higher clip. They're professional. But in college and high school, the 2 is still king, in my opinion. But he's changed the game where these guys don't care. They want to shoot the 3 anyway. So you've got to convince them to shoot the 2 as well. But yeah, man, in my opinion, the greatest shooter of all time. He's still got a long way to go. He's going to make that record unattainable at this point. I mean, I think people were looking at Ray Allen being like, when he broke that it wasn't going to get broken. And then that's when Curry really caught fire and has now really just blown up the game. And like I said, he's going to put that record in a different stratosphere that nobody's even going to be able to sniff it.
Yeah. And I think the other thing you got to remember, too, is that now kids are shooting threes when they're in like third grade. You know, I remember when we were in middle school, it was like, you know, you don't even try that. You got to learn how to shoot your free throws. You got to learn how to hit layups. Kids are not starting out, you know, learning how to hit a layup. They're starting out how to learn how to hit a three, because it's so prevalent in the game now. So there's going to be more shooters that are, you know, like even we were just talking about Jason Tatum. You know, in the past, Jason Tatum would be kind of a combo forward. He'd be a small forward, power forward type player who probably wouldn't have shot a lot of threes in the NBA. Now he's shooting 7 a game because it's just part of the game now, you know? Yep. And that's the biggest thing. Kids are now shooting threes as young as, you know, 9 and 10 years old, because they know they can. They know that that's part of the game. It's almost like a layup or a free throw in basketball now is the what the 3-point shot is now. And that's what kids are practicing. It's unbelievable. It's changed the game. And it's not going back. I think a lot of, if anything, they're just going to make the court wider. I think that's what the next thing they're going to have to do. But that's going to do it, folks, for topic number 8.
Live by the 3, die by the 3. I had to get that in.